I know what 3 heartbeats sound like when they're not supposed to be in your bed. Mine, and 2 others I didn't recognize. While I stood frozen in my own hallway, hand still on my suitcase, wedding ring catching the light from under our bedroom door. Let me back up. Just a bit. Name's Merritt. Yeah, I know. Sounds like some trust fund name, right? Well, my parents weren't wrong about that part. I work in commercial real estate development here in Scottsdale, and 3 months ago I had what I thought was a perfect life. Spanish revival house with the casita out back, wife named Sloane who, God, she was sharp, you know? Ambitious, knew exactly what she wanted. Should have paid more attention to that last part. So anyway, there's this deal I'd been working on for 8 months. Biggest of my career. 2 investors, Porter, this Texas oil money guy, all boots and charm, and Thane, San Francisco tech VC type, always in those minimalist black turtlenecks. They were supposed to meet me at this Denver conference. Sloane actually, she insisted I go, practically pushed me out the door. Baby, this is your moment, she'd said, kissing me at the door. Don't worry about anything here. 3 days before I left, she bought new sheets. Said they were for when you get back. I remember thinking that was sweet. Turns out they weren't for me. I was supposed to fly back at 6 a.m., get home by noon. But the last day of the conference got canceled, so I caught an evening flight instead. Uber pulled up to our place around 11 p.m. 2 cars in the driveway I didn't recognize. Rentals. I could see the tags. I used my key real quiet, and that's when I heard her laugh. That laugh she only does when she's comfortable, really comfortable. There were wine glasses in the living room, 3 of them. Her heels kicked off by the couch like she does when she's had a few. 2 pairs of men's shoes by the door, expensive ones. Allen Edmonds, I noticed, because I have the same brand. The bedroom door was cracked open maybe 4 inches, light spilling out into the hallway. And I moved toward it like my legs weren't even mine anymore, you know, like I was underwater or something. Everything felt slow and fast at the same time. What I saw through that crack, my knees buckled, literally. I grabbed the wall to stay upright, and I tasted copper in my mouth from biting my tongue. Those new sheets. The ones she'd bought, and 3 people in one bed when you're standing in your own hallway and one of them is your wife and the other 2 are your business partners. I heard her voice say a name, not mine. Porter. And then another sound, and Thane. Wait, my brain caught up right then. Porter and Thane, my investors, the ones who were supposed to be in Denver, with me. I backed away from that door so fast I almost tripped over my own suitcase, sat down right there in the hallway, back against the wall, and just sat there for 20 minutes. My phone buzzed. Text from Sloane sent 2 hours earlier. Miss you, baby, can't wait for tomorrow. Sent while she was, and that's when something clicked. Cold, calculated. She'd sent them away from Denver. She'd orchestrated me being gone. This wasn't just cheating. This was a plan. She was cutting me out, seducing my investors, stealing my deal, taking my company. I didn't burst through that door. I left. Got a hotel room downtown, sat on the bed until sunrise, just thinking. At 7 a.m., I came home returning from my trip. Sloane was alone. The men were gone. She was scrambling, but trying to look normal. Kissed me at the door, and her mouth tasted like lies and wine. How was Denver? She asked, wearing my old conference t-shirt from 2019. Productive, I said, watching her lie through her teeth about her week. 3 days later, the scheduled meeting with Porter and Thane happened. They sat across from me in my conference room, confident, almost smirking. They thought they had me beat. I presented the development deal. Then halfway through, I changed the terms, made the numbers work only if they invested jointly, fully committed, penalties for backing out. They signed, both of them, locked in. Then I stood up, shook their hands. Gentlemen, before we celebrate, I want to show you something. I played a video, Sloane's voice, from her cloud, which wasn't that hard to access when you know someone's passwords. Her talking to one of them days before that night, describing the plan, get the deal, cut Merritt out, take the company. Their faces went white. They realized they'd been played by her. But more than that, they were now legally bound to a deal with the man whose wife I sold the entire project the next morning. to a competitor for pennies on the dollar. Porter and Thane lost everything, their investment, their firms. Both companies collapsed within 6 months. Sloane got divorce papers at her mother's house. Prenup kicked in. She got nothing. I kept the house, the cars, everything. I won. So why do I sleep in the guest room now? Why can't I go into our old bedroom? Why are those sheets still in the garbage out back because I never took the bins to the curb? Sometimes I drive past her apartment just to see if she's okay, which is messed up, right? But here's the thing, nobody tells you about revenge. You can burn down someone's entire world and still wake up at 3 a.m. reaching for someone who isn't there anymore. I won. So why does it feel like we both lost?